Watching WAAY-31, WAAY-TV. We're in long-form severe weather coverage here in Huntsville, Alabama, and we'll continue to stick with you as these storms push through the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee communities. We've had a lot of reports of damage, a lot of reports of power outages, and we're still trying to gather information right now. And of course, we're going to have the latest coming up at 10 o'clock on the news. So what we're going to do is continue our coverage here. I'm watching this storm in portions of Coleman County, and I don't know, I think Isaac's in the house with me right now. Isaac, are they saying anything else about this storm in Coleman?
Yeah, I was going to pass along, they have just reissued the tornado warning now for Coleman County. Now this is for the southern and south central portions of the county, basically an extension of the one that we have right now. This has a history of producing damage across Walker County. We don't have confirmation that it's down on the ground, but we have received confirmation from the Weather Service in Birmingham that over portions of Walker County the storm did produce some damage. So again, we might have to lend a little bit more credibility to this storm, even though it's not looking the best on radar right now. We're going to continue to watch this storm as it moves off towards the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. Again, we're going to watch it as it continues to pass just to the south of Coleman. If you live in the city of downtown Coleman, you may want to think about going to your safe place, because at least the southern and eastern portions of the county underneath that tornado warning now that goes until another 30 minutes until 9:30. Other places in the warning include Hanceville, Good Hope, Dodge City, Garden City, Colony, Wilburn, Black Bottom, and Bremen as well. All those are rural communities in the southeastern portion of Coleman County. Again, as this storm scoots off towards the north and to the east. Again, I'm going to look here in the Weather Service chat, and not outside of that damage that we got earlier, and we got a report of damage near Boldo, which that's just to the northwest of Jasper on Highway 69. That was earlier. That was about 15 or 20 minutes ago when the storm was in Walker County. So because of the environment we have, because of stuff that we have been dealing with all afternoon and evening, the Weather Service thought it was a good idea to go ahead and post up the tornado warning to continue for another 30 minutes. Spencer, I'll be watching the reports over here and driving the radar for you. For now, we'll toss it back to you.
Okay, and we're continuing to watch that storm there in portions of North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. And okay, and I want to welcome the Fox 54 crew as well. We're cutting into the Fox 54 newscast to continue our coverage here on WAAY-31. So thank you folks there on Fox 54 for watching. We're covering the weather here. We're also covering the what we're expecting with these storms as we go through the evening hours. And again, we're watching the one tornado warning right now, but in the meantime, let's see, do we have any more information that we could pass along?
Oh, I haven't seen any other reports here in the last 5 minutes outside of that damage report in Boldo, which is a small community just to the northwest of Jasper. Again, that happened about 15 or 20 minutes ago. So again, we're going to continue to watch things closely as this storm, you know, if we look at Viper real quick, I'll punch this up here and we can see, we've zoomed in here to the southern portions of Coleman County, and you can see here that some suspicious little signature here just on the far southern tip of Coleman County, back towards the southwestern portions of Blount County. Again, this storm is going to continue moving towards the north and to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And again, this possible tornado signature will continue to move off towards the north and to the east again over the next maybe 30 minutes.
So that is that's still looking like a pretty good signature there.
Yeah, it's looking like, you know, we're getting a little bit closer to the radar here, and we might be able to get a little bit better idea of what we're looking at as far as the radar structure and the storm structure as it moves its way, basically jockeying around the Coleman-Blount County line, kind of straddling that county line right up towards the north and to the east, basically right up Highway 69 there.
Let's go ahead and zoom in on that,
okay.
Isaac. This is I-65 as he was talking about. This is Coleman County, and again, this is the hook area that we're looking at on this storm as it continues to track along the county line. And again, we'll keep an eye on this as it gets closer and closer to the radar site, as he mentioned. And
yeah, we're going to have to rely on the reflectivity probably, because we're still a little bit too far away for the velocity.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, I think this storm will probably push into Marshall County here in the next little bit. And as it pushes into Marshall County, we'll continue to track it. But this is the only storm with a warning, and it will eventually push into northeast Alabama up toward Jackson County as well. So we're keeping an eye on you folks there in Coleman County. We want to make sure you're well warned and well aware of what's going on. We know we don't have as many viewers there in southern Coleman County, but we do have some, and we're still with you there on that tornado warning along State Highway 91 and also along State Highway 69. So State Highway 91 and State Highway 69 is what we're looking at. Along I-65, this will push to the north of Warrior, Alabama, and push off to the north and east. So we'll keep an eye on this. In the meantime, let's head over to Deborah Daniel, and Deborah may have some more information for us.
Yeah, Spencer, first I want to correct something that I read wrong. Colbert County schools will be open tomorrow. They will start at 10 a.m. Colbert County schools will be open, and they will start class at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Coleman City and Coleman County will dismiss at noon, and Athens schools, I understand, are closed. Limestone County schools closed. Colbert County delayed until 10. Coleman County and City dismissing tomorrow at noon. And no word about Limestone. Well, no, there we do have Limestone County schools closed, and of course Athens as well. Colbert County delayed until 11. Coleman County and City will be dismissing at noon, and no doubt those will be updated throughout the night. We do know that Huntsville City Schools has not made a declaration as of this hour because their safety team will meet tomorrow morning to discuss whether to keep schools open or delay the start of class or shut things down altogether. But the brunt of the damage so far tonight has been in Limestone County, where there are all kinds of problems on Highway 72, trees down, poles down, streets are starting to flood. There were 2 confirmed fatalities at Billy Bob Trailer Park in the Coxie community. Buildings damaged in Athens. Athens EMA and the county EMA saying, please, if you do not have to drive on the roads, please do not in Athens or in the entire county of Limestone County. We don't know the details about the Billy Bob Trailer Park, and there are some reports that there could be more than 2 people dead. We are working to confirm that, but right now we do have confirmed that 2 people have died during the storms tonight in Limestone County in Billy Bob Trailer Park. Clemens Fire Department, we are told, had some major damage, or was, let's say, they were hit with a tornado. Still waiting for pictures from that to come in. The Clemens Fire Department, though, apparently was hit and was damaged. In Madison County, large power outage in Hazel Green, trees and power lines down throughout northwest Madison County. Also, Madison County crews are headed out to Limestone County. They're probably already there to help assess the damage and clear that debris, and of course they're not going to be able to see how much damage there is really until the sun starts coming up tomorrow morning. Now, let's go around to the power outages that we have so far. Huntsville Utilities, 4,200 customers without power at this hour. They are working to get that cleared up, but the hardest hit area as far as power loss was Athens, with 11,900 people still without power at this hour. In Athens alone, we haven't found out what's going on in the entire county of Limestone County, but in Athens right now, 11,900 people without power. Hopefully you heeded what Ari and Spencer have been telling you all week about, get those lights, flashlights ready, get that water ready, those power can openers that are not with power. All the simple things you need to survive when the power goes out. And Spencer and Ari have been telling us about it all week, and I'll be honest, I think I have one flashlight, and I'm hoping the batteries work when I get home if I don't have power. So those little things mean a lot. And I was on Twitter and Facebook all night today, sending out tweets of what we were hearing between Ari and Spencer and Isaac, and the ALweather.com, TennesseeValleyWeather.com. And you guys were right there clicking, well, thanks for letting us know. And it's really a communication effort that we all have to do together. We rely on you. We rely on your pictures. If you have storm pictures, please send them to us. And if you have some video, send it to us. We will put it on the air as soon as we can get it. So we're in the midst now where we've got our crews out. They're trying to get pictures for you, and hopefully we can have that for you tonight at 10. But let's go back to Chief Meteorologist Spencer Denton with an update. Spencer?
Yeah, Deborah, and we're still tracking the storm in Coleman County. Again, there's not many warnings left out there. This is the lone warning, and it's actually going to move into portions of Blount County. So this storm, southern Coleman County, continuing to track off to the north and to the east. And again, it's north of Warrior. This is going to be north and east of Aniana, and it will continue its push. You can see the small hook there. There is the potential for possible tornadoes. So the folks there in southern Coleman County should definitely be taking their tornado precautions. This is south of the city of Coleman. It's hard to see on the radar. It's actually the best view is coming from Birmingham right now, and I was just looking at it, and you can kind of see, and Isaac circling that area that's now entering the range for the high top next wrap. But again, we're looking at this storm pushing through Coleman County and eventually into portions of Marshall County. So we'll keep an eye on this storm. Let's give you a broader view real quick and show you what's going on. So the folks in southern Tennessee, let's actually let's go ahead and show the view of the southern Tennessee, northern Alabama view. And let me see here. There you go. Yeah, we're looking at just scattered storms, lots of lightning from Scottsboro to Fort Payne to Guntersville. The storms are winding down in Florence and Russellville, but still the potential exists in Marshall, DeKalb, Jackson, and Coleman counties for any of these storms to rotate. So we have to keep an eye on these storms as we go through the next hour or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Isaac just kind of go over the overall summation of the storms in North Alabama and southern Tennessee, and he'll look at the warning there in Coleman one more time, and then I'll come back with you and we'll look at some reports coming in as well.
Okay, thanks, Spencer. Again, we are just looking at one tornado warning right now, and that is in southern Coleman County. That goes for about the next 15 to 18 minutes. That will expire at about 9:30, and in case the Weather Service may extend it, we haven't received word from them just yet. We have received word that there was a report of a funnel cloud earlier in Arkadelphia, and so power outages were also reported. So again, this storm not necessarily letting up, but elsewhere across the Tennessee Valley, you can see on the radar just a lot of loud storms out there. It's pouring down rain here on Montesano right now, but the good news is that far western sections of the area over there towards Florence and Russellville and Hamilton, severe weather threat is over for tonight. That is some good news. However, the Weather Service in Huntsville is going to issue a high wind warning. This is for Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore counties in Tennessee, and then also for Coleman, Lawrence, Limestone, Madison, and Morgan counties. This goes until 3 a.m. Basically, a high wind warning means that winds could gust upwards of 50, maybe even 60 miles per hour, even when it's not storming. So these are what we call gradient winds, and they can often develop on the backside of a big rain shield like we're dealing with right now, basically a gravity wave, if you will. But again, the main story is the severe weather in here over southern Coleman County. We can take a look at this now and zoom in here on the Viper and see what we're looking at down here in the southern portions of Coleman County. You can see we have a little shear axis that has popped up on our Viper radar here. We'll click on it and see what's happening. 80 miles per hour of shear, which is nothing too significant relative to what we were looking at. But again, a BTI of 3.7, again, not nearly as high as some of the things that we were looking at earlier today. But nonetheless, with the kind of environment that we are dealing with today, we cannot ignore any types of signatures that look even a little bit favorable for tornadic development. So again, I want you in the southern portions of Coleman County to go ahead and be in your safe place as this storm moves basically just to the north of the Coleman-Blount County line. Let's go in for a little bit of a closer look here. And you can see Black Bottom in about 5 minutes here, basically running right along Highway 91. It runs back up into western Blount County as well. So again, basically riding the Coleman-Blount County line. If we look at the velocity product here, you can still see that we're still kind of out of the range of the Huntsville radar, but I can tell you here it's coming a little bit closer view here, and you can see the circulation looking a lot better even over the last scan here. Again, this is upwards of 4 minutes away from Black Bottom. So if you live in Black Bottom right now, I want you to be in your safe place right now. Small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as humanly possible. Again, we're continuing to look at the reports coming in from the National Weather Service in Huntsville as well as Birmingham, seeing some reports as well. But again, outside of the Arkadelphia funnel cloud report, we're not looking at any other reports here coming in over the last several minutes. But again, this storm continues to look relatively impressive with that couplet signature there. With you got the winds going towards the radar in the green and red going away. And then when you get those side by side together, that is a good indication of some circulation. Now, I will mention this too, in that the radar beam up this high is actually relatively high in the storm. So we're probably shooting 8,000 or 9,000 feet up in the air. But again, that's the parent mesocyclone that could drop a tornado at any time given the atmospheric conditions that we are dealing with today. And again, we can look at the radar, go back to the reflectivity here, and you can see that we have, a reflectivity of an inflow notch here just in the southern portions of Coleman County. I'm talking the far southern areas here, well to the south of Coleman. Again, if we can move that off to the north and to the east, it should miss Coleman off to the north and to the east. It may clip the northern portions of Blount County, and then if it holds together, it remains to be seen if it does do that, but if it holds together, we might have to talk about some warnings for southwestern Marshall County there towards Arab. So again, it's too early to tell. Right now, we've just got a tornado warning going in place right now for southern Coleman County, again, for another 14 minutes. That warning goes until 9:30 p.m. Again, not the best signature that we're looking at, but again, we can't ignore any types of signatures today because given the atmospheric conditions and the damage that we've already had over the Tennessee Valley. So again, if you live in the southern portion of Coleman County, you need to go to your safe place. Nobody should be driving on I-65 south of Coleman, and nobody should be on Alabama Highway 91 south of Coleman running towards the north and to the east. And also, I'm going to put some more streets here. Nobody should be on U.S. Highway 31, which kind of runs parallel with I-65 there. And again, that's going to be moving off towards the north and to the east and up towards where the US 278 corridor and Highway 91 interchange. Don't want to be there either because that storm is moving in that general direction here in about the next 10 to 15 minutes. So again, we're watching the reports. I haven't seen any other reports come in from the Weather Service in Huntsville over the last several minutes. Again, if we take a little bit of a broader perspective look outside of the Tennessee Valley, you can see that tornado warnings continue for Pickens County, for northern Tuscaloosa County, as well as Sumter County, Alabama. And then you can see, if we go on down the line here, you can see more tornado warnings, including places like Meridian and even southwest of there. But thankfully, we are not dealing with any more tornado warnings besides this Coleman County storm. You know, earlier today we had as much as 4 or 5 at one time, but now we're just down to 1. And we're continuing to track this as it moves off towards the north and to the east. Here, I'll just draw the little storm motion here about where we think it's going to move. And again, it's straddling the Coleman and Blount County lines as we move towards the area here over the next several minutes. Again, nobody should be on Highway 31 or Alabama Highway 91 as this storm is about to cross where those two highways intersect as well. And again, we're just going to be monitoring things closely over the next several minutes. And okay, they want me to toss back to Deborah, so that's what I'll do. We'll continue to monitor things, Deborah, and if we need to break back in, I'll let you know.
All right, Isaac, thank you very much. Let's join Rachel Keith, who has spent the entire evening out in Colbert County. Hey, Rachel, what do you see?
Hello, everything is pretty calm right now, a little bit of rain, but I'm here in Colbert County off Highway 43 here in Muscle Shoals, where the biggest concern tonight is flooding. Earlier tonight, around 6:30, 5 people were rescued by boat from Lighthouse Church off Highway 43 in Littleville. The family lives at the church. Water rose almost 5 feet surrounding the church, trapping them inside. The Littleville Volunteer Fire Department blocked portions of the highway and used boats to bring them in safely. No one was injured, and I'm told that a blocked culvert may have been the cause for flooding in the area. There are also trees and power lines reported down in Leeton, and Lauderdale and Franklin County are also reporting trees and power lines down, but no injuries in the area here where I've been out in all day. Things have fared pretty well in this area. Live in Colbert County, Rachel Keith, WAAY-31 First News.
As we start the morning hours tomorrow morning, flash flooding warnings throughout the day. Isaac is joining us now with the very latest from radar. Isaac.
Thanks, Deborah. Again, we're continuing to track this storm south of Coleman. Again, we haven't received any confirmation from the National Weather Service in Huntsville about whether or not this is on the ground or not. But again, given what we have already dealt with today, I want everybody in southeast Coleman County in their safe place right now, in case there is a tornado that is down. This circulation has now crossed I-65. I can give areas along and west of I-65 and all clear from this storm, and it's going to continue moving up towards the north and to the east, basically paralleling Highway 91 there. As we've already discussed, I'll put on the velocity product to see what we're dealing with here as far as the winds in the storm are concerned. And again, a pretty decent couplet signature here just to the east of Interstate 65 rather. Again, that's going to moving up towards the north and to the east. Coleman, you're okay from this storm. I think it's going to be passing to your south, but out Highway 278 out towards the northern portions of Blount County, nobody should be on that road because this storm is gradually moving towards the north and to the east. Again, I haven't received word yet if the Weather Service is going to continue this warning past 9:30, but again, with a signature like that, I would imagine that they probably will. And again, there we got the update right there just to the east of I-65. I would say it got a little bit tighter. So if we can go back to the reflectivity here, you can see that we definitely have a circulation here with a hook echo developing here basically right where Highway 31 and Highway 91 interchange right here. Highway 31 coming south out of Coleman right there. Definitely nobody should be on that road for sure. And then if we look here, then that's going to continue moving towards the north and to the east. And basically if it continues on this track, a tornado warning could be required for northern Blount County. But for now, the only county in our market area under that tornado warning is Coleman County. It is southern Coleman County. Right now, I'm going to look at the fast track radar right now and see what we're dealing with here as well. If I need to switch sources here, I will. But basically, it's showing the same thing. Again, a pretty decent circulation about 5 to 7 miles south of Coleman down Highway 31. Now, we just had an update from the Weather Service here. They continue to indicate a tornado. Doppler radar indicated this was 3 miles northeast of Colony or 12 miles south of Coleman. Again, this is moving towards the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So again, this should be missing the Coleman community down to the south. It's about 10 miles south of that area. But again, if we look at the Viper radar imagery here, you can see right here is a good inflow notch. It's a good indication that we may have something down right here. And again, this is approaching the Highway 31 and Highway 91 corridor. And if we take a look again at the velocity product, again, you can see right there where I have that blue circle where it's a little bit out of date here. But again, if we can assume that couplet has moved up towards the north and to the east over the last several minutes. So again, if you live in and around Highway 31, Highway 91 areas right there, I want you to go ahead and go to your safe place. I want to see if I can get a little bit other towns in the path of this storm here. Hanceville right there, and that community college right there, River Bend, White City, Center community. Definitely want to be in a safe place as well. Welty and Walter, these are all communities, Riverside as well. All of these communities are right on the Coleman and Blount County lines. And again, I want everybody to be in a safe place in those types of communities as this storm moves off towards the north and to the east at about 35 miles per hour. Again, the reflectivity is not all that impressive, and neither is the velocity signature relative to what we have been seeing, especially that signature that we were seeing in the Tennessee area, the southern Tennessee area earlier, about an hour ago. If I turn on the one of the debris indicators, you can see that not near as impressive. In fact, I would say there's no debris associated with this storm right now. Earlier, you know, when you see those blue colors, that is a good indication that we may have some some tornado debris up in the air, but that's simply not the case right now, so that we can be thankful for that. We got this storm again tracking to the south of Coleman, and if we expand things out a little bit further to the north and to the east, we can see that some communities in the path like Holly Pond up Highway 91 there also in the path. Also Rock Springs. Now this Rock Springs is actually in the northwestern portion of Blount County. Again, we have not heard from the Weather Service in Birmingham whether or not they are going to issue a tornado warning for Blount County or not. But again, the only county right now that we're dealing with a tornado warning is Coleman. That goes for another 6 minutes, but again, with the signature that we're seeing here as it inches ever so closely to the Huntsville radar, Spencer's just now joining me again here, and we can see that this circulation is fairly impressive just to the south of Coleman and approaching the Hanceville community, also approaching the Holly Pond community as well. So again, you can see that inflow notch on the fast track radar here. That's continuing to move off towards the north and to the east. Again, that tornado warning continues about the next 5 minutes. And I should also mention that we also have a tornado watch that was reissued by the Storm Prediction Center, basically east and south of Huntsville, Huntsville included as well. That goes until 3 a.m. So again, we are not out of the woods just yet as we continue to have these thunderstorms continuing. And I see that the Weather Service is now extending the tornado warning for Coleman County. They say that the dangerous storm capable of producing a tornado was 5 miles northeast of Colony or 11 miles south of Coleman, and again moving towards the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So Spencer, again, we can't ignore this signature. Again, it's kind of tightened up over the last several frames, and even though we're still shooting kind of high in the storm with the radar beam, it looks like the circulation might be lowering a little bit towards the ground here as it moves towards the Hanceville community and ultimately the Holly Pond area. Yeah,
that's a pretty significant signature there on radar and also on the reflectivity and the velocity. And let me check Viper here real quick. I'm going to kind of go into this and see if, let's see, we're looking at some areas here in portions of eastern Coleman County. This is going to, as he mentioned, head directly toward Holly Pond. And what I'm going to do is move this around a little bit. And let's label a few other areas here. So we're looking at Welty, Walter, Mountain Grove, Walker's Corner. These areas will be likely included in the new tornado warning that was just issued for sections of eastern Coleman County. And again, looks like we have, let's zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, for eastern Coleman County, boy, that one west of Birmingham really looks bad. That's down to the west, just north of Tuscaloosa. I know a lot of folks there have family and friends that are in the city of Tuscaloosa. This is just to the north of Tuscaloosa, so that's in the Samantha community and stretching down toward Wyndham Springs. And that one is actually heading in the direction of Oak Grove. So we'll continue to watch for the folks that have friends and family down there, but we're watching this area here in Coleman County, and I'm circling what we're looking at, and we're looking at this area of green going toward the radar, red going away from the radar, and right now we're looking from the high top next rad. So here is the wind going toward, wind going away, and when you get the wind going in a circulation like this, typically you have at least some circulation aloft, but this could be reaching the ground. And again, we're keeping an eye on this. There is an enhancement of lightning with this storm in that particular area, and so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Let's switch back to the reflectivity here. And so what we're looking at, zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So if you're in Holly Pond, and let's put a lapse on this, and I'll clear all this off. If you are in Holly Pond, you need to be prepared to take your tornado precautions. And again, we do have a few folks down there in portions of Coleman County that that do watch us in that section of eastern Coleman County. So certainly, and it does look like it's tightening up some as it moves to the north and to the east. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit here. And if this stays on the current path that we're looking at the possibility, let me turn off the lightning and that will speed it up a little bit. This would take it directly toward Arab. So you folks there in Arab need to stay weather alert. This storm is possibly heading in your direction. Again, if you live in Arab and portions of northeastern Coleman County, if you are in Holly Pond, also Baileyton, or down towards Summit, extreme northeastern sections of Coleman over toward Joppa, you need to be prepared to take your tornado precautions. Again, that's a tornado warning that continues for southern and eastern Coleman County, southeastern Coleman County, and it goes until 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And it goes till 10 o'clock, and it's 12 miles south of Coleman, moving northeast at 35. So again, Hanceville, Good Hope, Dodge City, Garden City, those are the areas that are being impacted right now. And who do we have on the phone again? Okay, so we have Dustin Phillips on the phone, and Dustin, you are with UAH. You're with the group that goes out and kind of surveys and researches some of these storms. What have you guys seen tonight, and where are you at?
We went to Russellville earlier today. We actually are back at the college now. It's too dark to kind of chase in this kind of weather. We went to Russellville and actually were able to catch tornado genesis on that the system that actually went towards Athens earlier today.
Okay, great. And so, so you guys have been kind of studying that. Did you see any tornadic activity or any damage while you were out?
We didn't see a lot of damage. We caught the tornado forming there in Russellville that went north towards Athens, and then we moved to different locations as we tried to catch other supercells and other tornadoes as they were forming and moving across the area today.
Did you see any large hail or flooding out there?
Didn't really see any hail. With our equipment, we try to stay out of the heavy precipitation because we're a mobile radar, and we attenuate pretty bad because we're X-band. So we don't really want to be in the core, so we didn't really see any hail. We did see a lot of water, and I didn't see any flooding, but there was a lot of water in areas.
Guys, you know, I've done stories on a lot of the stuff that you guys do, the equipment you use, and you guys are using your mobile radar and a lot of other equipment that will help really, hopefully in the future, better forecast these storms. So we appreciate what you're doing, and sounds like hopefully you guys had some success out there today, and I appreciate you talking with us.
No problem.
All right, thanks a lot. Dustin Phillips from UAH talking with us about some of the research that they're doing. And, you know, we're building the new Severe Weather Research Center at UAH. And storms like this, it will be important for those folks to be able to go out and study that so that we can better warn and better forecast this type of activity. So really appreciate those folks doing that. So we're continuing with our coverage. It's now 9:30, just past 9:30, in fact 9:32, and we're going to stay with you up until the 10 o'clock news when we will start our newscast, WAAY 31 First News at 10. And again, what we're doing is we're tracking the storm right now. We do have one tornado warning, southeastern Coleman County. And again, that's the area there just south and east of Coleman, heading up toward Holly Pond. We're still getting warnings and a lot of flood warnings out there tonight. So again, if you're in the area of southeastern Coleman County, and it looks like they're changing that now. Are they changing that to severe thunderstorm warning?
No, they were saying that this tornado warning continues.
Okay.
Yeah. The polygons in our tracks are kind of overlapping here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's what's going on.
See if I can take those off.
So yeah. So here's the tornado warning, and you can see the tornado warning. The tornado itself is right here, where you see this little bend in the thunderstorm, and that's where we're looking at the possibility for potential tornado to track north and east, these storms are not going as fast as some storms do, only 35 or 40 miles per hour. Some storms go 50, 60, 65 miles per hour. So these are a little bit slower, but certainly seeing the rotation on radar. So if you're in Welty, Walter, or Mountain Grove, you need to be sure and take your tornado precautions. Holly Pond, Baileyton, you need to be prepared to go to your safe place here very soon, as this storm does have some indication that it could be producing a tornado. So again, this is what we're looking at right now, and we're watching this particular cell. What I'm going to do is zoom in I'm going to zoom out across the area and show you kind of the broader view. And actually, if you could switch over to fast track
okay,
on that other. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So we've got a cluster of storms across northwest Alabama, and then we have another cluster of storms northeast Alabama. You folks there in DeKalb County, we're not forgetting about you. No warnings at this time. A lot of lightning from Fort Payne to Crossville down to Boaz. Again, these storms, if I put a lapse on these storms, they're riding right along I-59. So if you live in Crossville, Geraldine, Fort Payne, Cedar Bluff, all these areas, seeing some heavy storms, some intense lightning, but at this point, nothing severe. So that's certainly some good news. Back here in Madison County, just some rain, thunder, and lightning. Same for portions of Franklin County, Littleville, Phil Campbell, some thunder and lightning, some heavy rain. But other than that, that's about it. We're watching this one area down here in southeastern Coleman County for the potential for possible rotation. And again, we're looking at possible tornado down here. That is the only warning at this time in North Alabama or southern Tennessee. So the only warning, southeastern Coleman County. What I want to do real quick.
we have a funnel cloud reported at Hanceville by law enforcement.
Okay, so we are seeing some rotation. I'm also seeing what looks like an increase in lightning activity with that storm. And so that's a good sign that there's potentially a tornado with this storm. But yeah, the lightning seems to be increasing quite a bit. So let's, what I'll do is I'll zoom in a little and label some of these roads so that you guys can get an idea of the areas of impact. So here's US Highway 278. That's coming out of Coleman. So US Highway 278, and that goes west to east through parts of eastern Coleman County. And then we also have State Highway 91. You know, I'm just labeling some streets to give you some idea. Here's State Highway 69, and there they go. They reissued they extended the tornado warning now for portions of eastern Colbert, Coleman County, and that extends all the way up to the county line, up toward Marshall. Yeah.
This goes until 10.
So this goes until 10 o'clock. So we'll stick with you on this storm as it continues to push through Coleman County toward the city of Arab. Again, it's not a fast mover. We're talking 35, 40 miles per hour. Tornado warning continues now, eastern Coleman County, and this goes until 10 o'clock. So for you folks here along US Highway 278, State Highway 91, let's look at a couple of other. We're talking about US Highway 231 coming out of Arab, and then also if you live along State Highway 67. So here's all the roads and thoroughfares that go through eastern Coleman and western or northwestern Blount County, and that's right along the county line there. So we'll switch over to Viper real quick and give you a better idea of some of the communities that will be impacted here soon. And what we're looking at, let me clear this off. So we're looking at Holly Pond is in the warning. Holly Pond Elementary School, New Hope, Fairview High School, Brooklyn, Union Grove, Blue Springs, you're on the outside of that warning. Baileyton, Simcoe. So these are all areas within the warning. The warning extends all the way up to Joppa. So right now the tornado warning extends to Joppa. Arab, you are not in the tornado warning. However, you need to stay weather aware there in Arab as this storm approaches you. We'll put a lapse on it, and you can see this storm is pushing off to the north and to the east toward Arab. So if you live in Arab, go ahead and be prepared. They may extend this tornado warning into portions of southern Marshall County if it can hold together. Certainly there are signs of rotation. The velocity on it has been showing, and I'm going to take some of these towns off here, and well, if it will let me. Here we go. Let's take the lapse off and do latest. And what we're looking at here is, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and show you the velocity. There we go. Okay. So there's the velocity on this storm. Again, it's a broad rotation at this point. Let's go ahead and look at the BTI. The BTI on this, and again, for those of you who've been with us tonight, you have heard us talk a lot about the BTI. That's the tornado index, and it's at a 4, so that's not too high with 69-mile-per-hour winds. So this is, if there is a tornado there, it's likely a weak or weaker tornado than what we've seen with some of these others. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to stay weather alert. Take your weather precautions there in portions of northeastern Coleman County. And also, looks like we've just had a severe thunderstorm warning issued for portions of northern Jackson County.
That's correct.
So northern Jackson and eastern portions of looks like
Franklin County,
Franklin
Tennessee.
County, yeah, okay. So that's up there near the radar site, Pleasant Grove, Edgefield. Those are the areas that we're looking at up in Jackson County. This storm could produce some damaging wind, so just keep that in mind if you're up there in Bridgeport. But again, we'll keep an eye on this storm coming out of Coleman County toward Arab. We're watching it. You folks there in eastern Coleman, again, there are a lot of folks that live on this east side of Coleman. There's St. Bernard Preparatory School, East Point, Berlin, the community of Berlin, Walker's Corner. We got over toward Welty Elementary School, White City. White City is where the circulation just passed, so it's going to move toward U.S. Highway 278 and Holly Pond. So if you're in Holly Pond, be sure and take your tornado precautions. We're going to stick with you on this storm. We're watching it. In the meantime, we have some other information that's coming in, and we're going to head over to Deborah Daniel at the news desk.
All right, Spencer, we were talking about how Limestone County was the most impacted so far by these tornadoes. Limestone County schools are closed tomorrow. Clements Fire Department took a direct hit from a tornado. Let's go through that list again. Athens City schools are closed. Colbert County schools delayed until 10 a.m. They are not closed. Colbert County schools delayed until 10 a.m. Coleman County and Coleman City will be dismissing classes at noon tomorrow. And we just learned that Morgan County schools will be closed tomorrow, as well as Athens Bible School and Decatur City will be dismissing tomorrow at noon. Again, Clements Fire Department took a direct hit, and we are getting reports I've seen on Twitter that the high school may have been hit as well. We do not have that confirmed, but we do know that the Clements Fire Department took a direct hit tonight from a tornado. Blue Springs Elementary School was damaged. So again, Limestone County schools, Athens City schools, Morgan County schools closed tomorrow. Colbert County schools delayed until 10 a.m. Athens schools closed. And we have that complete list at WAAY-TV.com. We do know that 2 people were injured in Limestone County. At least 2 people were injured. We do have 2 confirmed deaths in Limestone County. It happened at the Billy Bob Trailer Park in the Coxie community tonight. Buildings were damaged in the city of Athens. People were being asked to stay off the streets to allow emergency vehicles through. And as a matter of fact, we just heard from WAAY-31's Megan Wiebold, who told us that she had difficulty getting through and that there were 5 cars behind her. So tonight, if you're driving around, and it may be the case tomorrow, that you may not be able, unless you have a emergency vehicle, that you may not be allowed on those roads. You'll be allowed, but they ask you not to be, because it makes it a hardship for emergency crews and responders trying to get to those facilities and those homes and those areas that may have been damaged by the tornadic activity. Yes? All right. All right, now I've just learned that the Main Street underpass is in Ardmore. The Main Street underpass in Ardmore is under 10 feet of water and is now closed. And we will update what's going on throughout the area tonight at 10 o'clock, and always go to our website, WAAY-TV.com. But again, the Main Street underpass in Ardmore, under 10 feet of water and now closed tonight. And another place that was underwater, and may not be the only place, because tomorrow morning I'm sure we're going to see it in the light of day. Lighthouse Church had 5 people rescued by boat in Littleville, Alabama tonight. The flooding was a major issue, and we have a picture, and I don't know if you can send it, that Rachel Keith shot, of this church practically covered in water, and they had 5 people in there that they had to rescue with a boat. So flooding in Colbert County and several counties around our area, no doubt an issue. We talked about Limestone County being impacted the most, and we learned tonight that the rescue squad in Morgan County will be sending, or may have already sent, 8 people from that rescue squad tonight to Limestone County to assess the damage and help with anything that they can do as far as clearing the scenes and that type of thing. And then tomorrow morning, Morgan County will send 5 people to help with security effort in Limestone County. So no doubt when we wake up tomorrow morning, we are going to see a major issue in several parts of Limestone County. Wanted to see what else I could get you updated on. The power outages. Huntsville Utilities, last report 4,200 power outages in Huntsville, and last report in Athens, I think it was close to 12,000 people. Yeah, there we go. No, now it's more than 16,000 people without power in Athens. Russellville City Schools and Franklin County Schools in Alabama will dismiss tomorrow at 11:30. So again, this is an update just to our newsroom. Russellville City Schools and Franklin County Schools in Alabama will dismiss tomorrow, April 29th, at 11:30 in the morning. There will be no after-school programs or activities. And once again, just go to our website, WAAY-TV.com, for the very latest. And another early dismissal. Hartselle City Schools dismissing at noon tomorrow with a normal start time. So again, that's Hartselle City Schools dismissing at noon tomorrow with a normal start time. The schools are being updated every hour, and let me tell you about Huntsville City Schools. We haven't heard from them yet because the safety team will meet tomorrow morning very early, I'm sure before 7 o'clock, to discuss what they plan to do. And of course, we will get that out to you as soon as possible. And I don't know, maybe later tonight they will get their safety team together in a conference call and discuss their plans for tomorrow. But plenty of school closings, plenty of school delays tomorrow, and plenty of schools releasing students early tomorrow. So parents and students, especially you parents, if you can go to WAAY-TV.com, we will have the very latest for you on that. Again, we have crews out everywhere. We have crews that have been out all day long, and you're not going to like this story, but you can relate to it, and that is that they came to work early, got here around noon, and they all headed out. Things were nice and sunny and quiet and peaceful. It was the calm before the storm. Then, around 4 o'clock when we started our newscast, they were told to take shelter. And to be honest with you, they've been in shelter for most of the night. So they are just now getting out. We've got a few pictures, and they're going to try to get some information to you. But every time one of our reporters went out, they had to turn right back around and take shelter. That's how rapidly moving these storms were, and these, so far unconfirmed tornadoes just popping up. I think we want to go back to meteorologist Isaac Williams with an update.
Yes, Deborah, we just got a report in from the National Weather Service in Huntsville that this storm now in Coleman County approaching the city of Holly Pond is got a tornado that is down on the ground. So we do have now a confirmed tornado down on the ground near the community of Berlin. Again, that's near the city of Holly Pond, or the suburb of Holly Pond, and that's going to continue moving off towards the north and to the east at about 35 or even 30 miles per hour. Again, these storms have slowed their eastward and northeastward progression here, but again, right along Highway 278 here is, you do not need to be traveling on U.S. Highway 278 for sure, because that's where the Berlin community is. That's where the storm spotter that is watching the storm has now confirmed a tornado that is down on the ground here. Again, if you're in Holly Pond, Brooklyn, Baileyton, Strawberry, over here into the northeastern portions of Coleman County and the far northern sections of Blount County, you've got to be in your safe place right now. Again, this storm has produced damage back in Walker County, and again, we've just got reconfirmation that we do have a tornado that is down on the ground. So if you live in any of those communities I just called out, Holly Pond, Brooklyn, Baileyton, just turn us up. You'll hear us as you go down into your safe place here. Small room, lowest floor, near the center and away from windows. Again, you can see this storm wrapping up here near the Holly Pond community as it continues moving off towards the north and east, only again at about 30 miles per hour. Again, if you live in Brooklyn, you're likely receiving some large hail, but often that's a sign that you also are going to get potentially a tornado on the back side of that storm. Again, we'll switch places here with Spencer, and he can take over, and I will go continue to drive the radar. But again, Spencer, just to catch you up here, we are looking at a tornado that is confirmed in the Berlin community right near the Holly Pond area, moving towards the northeast at about 30 miles per hour.
Yeah, these storms hanging on tonight across the Tennessee Valley. You can see that Holly Pond, Brooklyn, Baileyton, all under the gun. And we were talking about this a minute ago before we went to Deborah, that you folks there in Arab need to stay weather alert, and Holly Pond as well. So we've been talking about the threat here for a potential tornado, and now it looks like it has been confirmed. So if you haven't already, take your tornado precautions. Again, the warning actually only goes to the state line there. And what Isaac's doing, he's circling that area of possible rotation. It's tracking north and east, so that would take it on a direct line toward Arab if it holds together. And again, they have not issued a warning into Marshall County yet. So if you're in Holly Pond, as he was talking about, Brooklyn, Baileyton, you need to be inside your safe place right now. And again, this storm has a history of at least producing some damaging wind out there and the potential for a tornado. And again, now we think it is a tornado on the ground, according to some of the reports that are coming in. And we're labeling some of the streets for you. And I'm going to step out and give you a wider view. And I'm actually going to look at, we're looking at, again, U.S. Highway 278. It's crossing 278 right now, just west of Holly Pond Elementary School. This is heading toward Brooklyn and heading toward Joppa. And again, we're looking at this area just south of State Highway 69. It will be south of Fairview High School, south and east of Simcoe, Baileyton. It will be just to your south and east. It will cross.
We've got a debris signature on the fast track radar here. I'll switch sources over so you can see that right there.
Definitely a debris signature. Okay, so we have a large tornado on the ground. This means we are going to declare tornado emergency, eastern Coleman County, for this particular cell. And these storms have been doing this all night long. They die down and then they increase in intensity really fast. And this one particular storm, the possible debris signature is right along State Highway 69. I've actually traveled this many times coming in from portions of Madison County and also Marshall County, again coming in from Arab. And if you come down into State Highway 69, here's State Highway 67, U.S. Highway 278. So this is actually, the debris is showing up on the eastern side of Coleman, where Highway 278 and 69 intersect. So they intersect right here. So we're talking about a possible debris signature. This is very clear debris signature. With every storm that we've had tonight that has looked like this on radar, there has likely been a tornado. So
yes, Spencer, sorry to interrupt. The Weather Service is confirming now structural damage with this storm now.
Okay, did they say where the structural damage was?
It just says structural damage confirmed with the cell in Coleman County.
Okay, let's zoom in a little tighter on this area of debris. And what I want to do, this is actually, zoom in a little tighter. This probably moved right across 278 coming out of Coleman. Let's label some of the streets here that we're looking at. Let's label some of these, and you can probably label some of the smaller ones. Okay, there's State Highway 69 and 278. And again, we're looking at County Road, and I'm going to have to step back and look. This is County Road 1605 and 1630. And then you have County Road 1621. These areas, you're probably seeing a possible tornado as we speak. If not, you're seeing the debris from the tornado. Okay, so these are the areas. This is east of the city of Coleman, coming out of 278 and moving northeast along Highway 69. So if you live along State Highway 69, I want you to take your tornado precautions right now. If you live anywhere along State Highway 69, take your tornado precautions. Let's label a couple of these streets just to the northeast of there that are that it will cross paths with. And what we're looking at is County Road 1651, 1652. These are all county roads there in eastern Coleman County, 1653. So again, these are the areas of potential tornado on the ground, tornado emergency, eastern Coleman County. And again, this storm looks like it's increasing in intensity right now.
That's right, Spencer, and for that reason, for that very reason, the Weather Service in Huntsville has now issued another tornado warning for Coleman, West Central Marshall, and southeastern Morgan County. So this is going to go until 10:30. There are confirmed tornado near the Holly Pond community, or just to the west, right where we're looking at here with our debris signature along 278 right there, moving towards the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So I will zoom out so we can see the new polygon warning here, and you can see, they've extended it on further to the north and east. This does include Arab. So if you're an Arab, you've got to be in your safe place right now.
All right, if you want to clear those, there we go. So so there's the debris signature. Let's flip back over to velocity and look at this. You can see the, and it's not as clear on velocity. There's the rotation. I mean, it's there, but what we're looking at is this area right here. Arab is just to the north and east. So let's extend this out. Let's look at the areas that are in the actual warning there in the portions of Marshall County. And what we're looking at is Arab, Grassy, Union Grove. You're right on the edge of this. If you're traveling down US Highway 231 into Arab, if you're traveling up State Highway 67, State Highway 69 into Arab, any of these areas, again, there's a lot of businesses here in the city of Arab right along US Highway 231, and so a lot of these folks need to be taking shelter right now. If you're there in the Walmart there in Arab, of course, if you're in any of those areas of southern Marshall County, you need to go ahead and go to your safe place as this storm approaches and pushes into southern Marshall. So again, let's go back down to the storm. This is going to stay south and east of Eva. It's going to bypass Eva. So Eva, you may be the lucky ones on this one. This may just pass to your south. We're looking at this area, and let's go back to that debris signature and see if it's still showing up. And the debris signature is actually here. The rotation is here. So the debris signature very close to the rotation, which will push right along State Highway 69. And again, a second ago, I told you, if you live along State Highway 69, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. Go to your safe place, go to the center of your home, the basement, go to if you have a shelter, head that way now. If you live in Arab, head to your shelter now. If you don't have a basement, just go into a bathroom, an interior hallway, and stay there until this storm passes. Again, we're looking at this area that's in northeastern Coleman County. So Coleman, the city of Coleman, you're all clear at this point. For the city of Coleman, all clear. But if you're in Holly Pond, again, up toward Arab, Joppa, you are right in the path there in Joppa of this potential tornado. So if you're in Joppa, Arab, eventually Guntersville, this could affect you here in the next little bit. So this is going to cross over US Highway 231. It's coming up Highway 69, and it's going to pass over portions of extreme northeastern Coleman County. There's a lot of houses in this area, a lot of folks that live in this area, so we certainly want to make sure that you guys stay safe and stay in your safe place until the storm passes. Again, here's the rotation right here. There it is. And the track of it is taking it directly toward Joppa, okay, along State Highway 69. Now let's go ahead and with that on there, let's switch over to the debris signature. Yeah, okay. Debris signature.
So it's a little bit offset like you were talking about.
Yeah. So what's happening is we may have, I think what's happening, we've got strong southerly winds that could be pushing the debris a little further north. And because this is offset a little from the actual signature itself. So again, Joppa, Arab, you folks need to take tornado precautions until this storm passes. It still is showing a good sign of the potential of a tornado on the ground. And the reason, the strongest sign is this right here. This area of blue is all it's saying is that there is debris aloft within the storm. So that means whatever the storm is doing on the ground, it's picking it up and it's carrying it aloft. So whether it's trees, power lines, something, pieces of wood, something is being carried aloft in this storm. And that's a good indication that that tornado is on the ground. Again, this is going to be south and east of Eva, heading toward the city of Arab. And I'm sure we're going to get reports out of this storm as it continues to track north and east through the city of Arab. Here's the good news with this storm. It will likely cycle down here soon because these storms have been cycling up just like this, and eventually it will cycle down. So somewhere between Arab and Gunnersville, let's hope